I decided to do something different. This video is for any of you that are students, working a 9 to 5, or even if you're a business owner that's having trouble scaling your profits. I really wanted to take the time today to explain to you how simple it actually is to exchange your current income for a venture that offers more freedom and probably more dollars in your bank account. So I think a lot of people have a misconception about making money online. They get overwhelmed because they think it's too much work or out of reach. And what I can tell you is that it's not too much work. It just looks like it because you're comparing yourself to the most successful people in the space. People like Iman Gadzhi, Alex Hormozi, or even Tai Lopez, who have been consistently working on their companies for decades. Comparison is not only a dream killer, but it is a confidence killer. And you don't need to spend decades, you just need a couple of months of hard work to make it possible. A couple months won't get you to the top of the food chain, but it will get you some peace and some dollars in your bank account. It doesn't matter how smart you are, it only really matters how much discipline you have. And with that being said, let's go and get a whiteboard, and I'm gonna show you exactly how easy it is to start or scale your existing business. And at the end of the day, after watching this video, remember just one thing: the choice is always yours. So let's go. All right, so now that we're back at the crib, I'm gonna show you exactly how easy it actually is to start or scale your existing business. All right, so as you can see right in front of me, I have 3 of the product examples I just mentioned: physical, digital, service. I'm gonna go over an example of the type of product. So for physical, it'll be jewelry; digital, it'll be Notion templates; and service will be copywriting. Then over here, I'm gonna explain the marketing angle of my choice. And I'm gonna wrap it up with why we should choose the product and why we should choose the marketing angle. So let's get started with the physical product example, which is dropshipping jewelry. So the reason why I picked dropshipping is because the barrier to entry is very low. The reason for that is because you don't have to go out and manufacture your own product. You only have to be an expert marketer. So in other words, you should spend all your time figuring out how to actually market your jewelry product and get your ideal customers' eyeballs on it. And so the reason why I picked TikTok is because these days, a lot of the marketing hacks that you see, even gurus teaching, is things that are popular currently. And what you kind of have to do is predict what will be popular, where people are gonna go to, and hack that platform before anybody else does. And so 2 years ago, I was doing TikTok organic when nobody was doing TikTok organic. And the reason why is because I saw this new platform pop up and I saw that, oh, okay, like nobody online, none of these gurus are talking about TikTok. So that's the perfect time to get into it. As soon as you see everybody talking about TikTok, it's not too late. There's just a lot more competition. And so even today, a lot of people are talking TikTok, but it still isn't too late. There's still a lot of untapped areas, especially because Instagram is actually now copying TikTok. YouTube's copying TikTok. Every platform's trying to get the short form dopamine on their social media so that people can go on and put their attention there. Because social media is all about, okay, how can I get most of the users on my platform using my platform? And so next we're gonna move on to digital products. And the one I picked for this is Notion templates. And the marketing strategy I picked was Etsy. And this year, I'm gonna call it right now, you're gonna see a ton of people starting to promote Etsy. You have to dropship on Etsy, you have to post digital products on Etsy, so you might as well do it now and get ahead of the curve. What's great about digital products is that you don't have to fulfill them and your customer gets them immediately. What's also great is that you'll be able to get customer feedback immediately in case anybody's unhappy. You could go in and actually change it for them in real time. That way, your brand will be very easily scalable. What's also great is that you can actually license Notion template. And so you'll be seeing me talk a lot about how it's very important, in my opinion, to have a really good product to sell. But in order to have a really good product, you don't actually have to go out and create that product yourself. I suggest that you go out and license somebody's Notion template, license somebody's, if you're doing photography filters, and go and sell that. Because a lot of people get caught up, and I was the same way, a lot of people get caught up in this notion of, oh, I need the best product, I need to make the best product. Go out and find the best product and start to learn how to sell it. And so now that brings me to the third, which is a service. And now for service, you can do sales, you can do copywriting, you can do email marketing. It doesn't really matter, but what's very important, and this will get you ahead of the curve, is figure out how to personal brand yourself. Now, I've done agency, I still have an agency, and I've done a lot of outbound. I've done a lot of messaging. I've sent tens of thousands of cold messages to people. And what I found out is that creating a personal brand is the best way to sell, because with personal brand, you're gonna get a ton of inbound leads. And you don't have to be an expert at the start. You could learn, and over time, after you learn, you can go and spread the information on social media. What's great about this is you could take copywriting courses, but what you can also do is find that expert, get their results, get their case studies, partner with them, post that on social media, and start spreading the word about your agency, right? A second thing you do is you can go on Upwork and also hire somebody that's valid. The one thing I don't suggest is, at the start when working with somebody, don't charge a high retainer. Maybe do a performance-based, or maybe, do work for free, just in case the person you partnered with isn't 100% legit or can't provide the things you're guaranteeing. But it's a great start for you because you don't necessarily have to focus on the service, you just have to focus on the marketing part of it. And so a lot of what I do is create personal brands because I think digital real estate is the current gold rush. And with all these platforms popping up like I described earlier, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, TikTok, you have to try to capitalize on it now, because today is very easy to go viral than 5 years from now or 10 years from now. And so I want you to take this in, and I want you to notice that all of these marketing angles that I mentioned don't require paying for traffic, such as running ads on Facebook or TikTok or whatever it is. The reason is because I don't actually suggest you go ahead and pay for ads, because with ads there's gonna be a lot of trial and error, and you're gonna be focused on the amount of money you spent. I also picked products that can be all fulfilled for you, and I gave examples, and the reason for that is because I want you to focus on pushing the marketing. To make $10,000 per month, you only really have to be a marketing expert. Now, a perfect example of this is Andrew Tate. All he did was he focused on the marketing, and he was able to scale Hustlers University to millions of dollars per month. And the craziest part about this is, if you have ever joined Hustlers University, you know that the product's actually not that good. So before you get ahead of yourself and think that you can screw people over, that's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that you can go ahead and start making money without building the product yourself, because I do believe in having a great product. I believe that having a great product will get you, to the hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars per month mark. But first you need a stepping stone, and that stepping stone is being a great marketer, because you're gonna be the person that's bringing in revenue into the business, and you're gonna have a team of people that actually provides a service, whether it's a digital product, service, or a physical product. So now that you picked your product, we're gonna go over into marketing it. And so before I get into that, I just wanna mention that you should avoid marketing multiple things at once. Avoid the shiny object syndrome. The reason for that is because I want you to hyper focus on the marketing platforms that you choose, or platform that you choose, one platform. Figure out how to grow very fast on that, and that's gonna help you market other products in the future. All you have to do is master one thing. All right, so now let's move on to the marketing strategy. In this day and age, social media and all these platforms, you literally do not have to spend any money on ads, like I mentioned before. So like I said before, I don't suggest that you jump straight into ads, because what I think will happen to you if you do is you'll be fixated on the amount of ad spend that you push every single day, rather than creating the best type of content. So in the future, what we're gonna see is we're gonna see content being king. We see that right now, but it's not gonna stop. So you have to focus on what creates good content, what creates a good engaging ad, what creates something that people want to click on. And so by posting organically, you're gonna be able to see firsthand what those actually are. So hopefully you understand that content's king, and there's literally no way of getting around it. Trust me, first time me jumping on camera, I was just like, I don't like this. But now it's a consistent thing, and I actually enjoy jumping on camera because, I want people to see all my content, all the value I put out, and I want that to exponentially grow, being digital real estate on all these platforms for a long time. So anyways, with that being said, you should put yourself out there, create valuable content, whether it's on YouTube, Twitter, or Instagram. If you don't want to be on camera, you don't have to. You can either find somebody that wants to be on camera, or you could just jump on Twitter. Twitter, I grew from 0 to 10,000 followers without showing my face even once. And I was making good money, and I still am making good money. I decided to show my face just because I wanted to build more of a relationship with my audience. And a lot of people, even myself, the people that I work with, they started on YouTube and they had, pretty shitty content. I know I had shitty content at the start. And after I worked out being more comfortable on camera, worked out my mental blocks, worked out, possibly imposter syndrome, the sooner you get over those things, the more successful you'll become in the content game. And you'll see that the analytics will be exponential. There's gonna be exponential growth. So producing content is literally all about reps. You should be constantly pushing content to understand what works and what doesn't. And guess what? If your content sucks, then nobody is gonna see it anyways because the algorithms are not gonna push it. To summarize that, failure is inevitable. You can't pass it, you can't jump over it. You just kind of have to deal with it. I feel every single day, this video might be a failure, but I hope it provides value to people watching. So put yourself out there. And so once you get over that hump and you start posting, don't worry about trying to sell to anybody. The selling will happen naturally. So you should focus on views. Take this into consideration. If you don't have eyeballs, you don't have customers. So if you have 100 followers, don't try to optimize your selling process. What you should actually do is focus on getting 1,000 or 10,000 followers, because now you have 10 times, 100 times the amount of people to sell to. A lot of people, when they start drop shipping, they're like, oh, I have 100 store visitors. Why have only one person bought? Well, instead of, fixing the design on your website or seeing if your funnel is wrong, you have to actually figure out how to get more people onto your site, because the average conversion rate for people with Shopify stores is what, 2-3%? So if you want to get 100 orders, you need tens of thousands of people on your site. So when you start posting, take a community first approach. And what I mean by this is make sure to put your community first by providing value before asking them to buy something. And the reason for this is that if you create a loyal following, people will buy from you again and again and again. So instead of somebody spending $100 with you, they're going to spend thousands of dollars with you. And that's what creates a strong business. And a strong business valuation is people that come back and buy from you again and again and again, and people who wait for you to drop a product so that they could buy from you. It's literally a flywheel system. It's almost foolproof. So now that you've got your content down, one of the most important things in selling your product or service is actually going to be your messaging. So now that you figured out how to bring eyeballs onto your page or onto your product, what you have to do is really figure out your messaging and offer. Now, I put messaging and offer in two separate categories, and here's why. So messaging, in my opinion, is the first impression somebody gets when they see you or see your product, see your service, land on your page. And offer is the second step of the funnel where somebody considers to buy. So it doesn't matter how great your offer is, without proper messaging, you won't get any interested buyers. So here are examples of great messaging. So for the Notion templates, what you can say is hack your productivity with Notion templates. Here, we are clearly defining our target audience, hacking productivity, which is people that are motivated to achieve their goals and are familiar with Notion. Having that word Notion in your tagline is important because Notion's a massive brand. People are familiar with it, and over 100 million people visit their site every single month. So out of that 100 million people, you can definitely sell thousands, tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of people within that niche. So with something like copywriting services, what you can do is say, skyrocket your brand revenue with better copy, or you can even be more specific. Increase your brand revenue by 30% with better copy. So here, what we're doing is we're clearly defining our target audience. It could be e-commerce brands or coaches. You can even add those keywords in your tagline to perfectly call out who your target customers are. And if you were to market something like this, what you could do is post things on Instagram Reels about, what makes great copy. You can post your results. You can post just tips and tricks for brand owners to use, because I'm gonna tell you this, if I was a brand owner making $100,000 per month, I don't have time to do my own email marketing. I hired that out. And that's exactly what they're gonna do, is hire it out. They're gonna see you, they're gonna be like, oh, let me book a call with this guy, see what he's about. And you'll get clients that way. And they're gonna be high ticket clients as well, as long as you make sure that your service team is really solid. And so if you need help with messaging, what I suggest you do is go to your competitors' pages, go to ChatGPT, figure out what you think would work best with your offer. If you need help with messaging, feel free to go to your competitors' pages, take a look at what they have, or even go on ChatGPT and get a bunch of ideas. So now we're gonna move on to creating an offer. So you have to create an irresistible offer. When somebody looks at your content, then looks at your messaging, and then decides to reach out or land on your landing page if you were doing physical or digital products, you have to have a very solid offer. So think about, what is an irresistible offer? What is an offer that I myself can't say no to? Ask yourself that. If I was buying something, what would be an ideal offer for me? So here are some examples. For physical products, what you can actually do is do like a buy one, get one 50% off sale. If you have multiple colors, maybe people will buy more. Something like this will get you a much higher conversion rate. For digital products, it could be a lot more flexible, just because it doesn't really cost you money to fulfill this. It only costs you money to acquire customers. So what you could do, let's say you were selling some sort of course, you can actually sell the digital product, and then you could add, oh, I'm gonna give you a free consultation call on top of that. So that's much more attractive than just selling the digital course. So essentially what I'm saying for this is try to value stack it as much as possible. And then for the copywriting service, what you can do is you can actually offer the service for free and only take a retainer based off of the performance. So let's say if you don't perform for your client, you don't get paid, but if you make them $100,000, you can take a percentage of that. So that is a no-brainer offer because it's no risk to me as the client. And again, for physical and digital products, you can offer a 30-day money-back guarantee as well. No risk, right? So just to summarize this video, I want to emphasize the main point. Point number one, don't focus on your middle of funnel and bottom of funnel until you figure out your top of funnel. So this could be through content, this could be through ads. I do recommend content just because personal branding yourself is the way to go in 2023 and probably up to 2030, who knows. Secondly, there's three main products you want to sell: physical, digital, or service. You don't have to create the products yourself. Focus on what you're best at. For me, it's the top of funnel. I strongly recommend everybody understands marketing, personal branding, content, all that stuff. And number three, it's creating solid messaging and a solid offer. If you get eyeballs with good at messaging with a bad offer, nobody's gonna buy. So you have to figure out how to complete the circuit, have good messaging, have a good offer. And if you need help with this, hit me up on Instagram. So I hope you enjoyed the whiteboarding session. I know I don't usually do videos like this, but let me know if you enjoyed it and I'll make more for the future. If you have any questions or if you disagree with anything that I said in this video, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.